Lebanese terror group Hezbollah is upping the ante again in its war of words with Israel, sending a tweet in Hebrew to threaten the people of Israel. Hezbollah's tweet includes several photos that were taken at an Israeli border settlement and threateningly warns Israel in Hebrew, don't forget to look behind your back. It's part of an ongoing psychological campaign. Hezbollah making it clear they're able to take photos of Israeli border towns and IDF patrols from within Israeli territory. I'm joined now by our defense correspondent, Daniel Chemok. Daniel, so I guess the threat is one thing. It's not unusual for Hezbollah to issue threats. The unique thing about this is the photos taken from within Israeli territory. How scary is that to know that perhaps Hezbollah has spies and operatives working within the Israeli side of the border, too?
Well, it depends who you ask. If I was a resident of northern Israel and I recognize this photo and I recognize this community, that's very unsettling. That's very alarming. For the most part, there's a relative calm. But when you think that there's actually secret operations going on within Israel, that can be alarming for the public. And so it's absolutely cause for concern. If you're a resident that lives in these communities, if you can recognize this photo that we saw, that could definitely be a cause for concern. Do
we know why now? I mean, why this Hezbollah threat and the photos were released yesterday? Does it have anything to do perhaps with last week's outing of the Hezbollah terror commander in Syria? Is it something different?
There's several things. That's definitely relevant. You know, this happened just a week ago that Israel released information regarding a high-level official in Hezbollah's network. Before that, around a month ago, the Arabic spokesman for the IDF came out with a statement saying, talking about the northern exercise that the IDF held, that will vanquish this terrorist group from Lebanon. Maybe they didn't take too kindly to that threat.
That was the words from the IDF spokesman in Arabic, using the word vanquish. So
yes, to vanquish the enemy from that region. It might be a way to say, we're also watching you from within your own region.